Hi, college and career success. Welcome to summer 2024. My name is Dr. Linda Remark. I will be your instructor for these next 8 weeks of our summer semester. I always like to start off my semester with a quick welcome video, just so that you can hear my voice, you can kind of see some navigation, so you can start getting familiarized with Blackboard, the layout, and just making sure that you are ready to go as soon as the course opens. So the first thing I want to say is, depending on how you're watching this video, because I did send it out in an email and it's also embedded inside Blackboard, if you have not taken your Succeeding Online Orientation, you are not going to be able to see our course yet. So when we get into Blackboard and you click on courses and you click on college and career success, you're not going to be able to get to this point if you have not taken your orientation. It's going to pop up a page saying, hey, you need to complete your orientation. And it's 6 modules. It's going to walk you through just basic Blackboard information so that you're comfortable taking any class inside Blackboard. But if you're watching this video inside Blackboard, you're already good to go. So just kind of keep that in mind. Depending on how you access this video, you might still have to take your orientation. All right, so I'm just going to start to walk you through how our course is set up and just some tips and things like that as we go through to make sure that you're ready. So whenever you log in, you're always going to be brought to the Start Here page. This is a page that you're probably going to use less and less as the semester goes on and as you become more familiar with everything. So right away, this is where this video is going to be embedded right here, the welcome video. Right underneath that is our syllabus. So when you click on that, it's going to open up into a PDF. It's going to open up like right inside there actually, and then you can open it up into its own page if you wish. So I'm going to walk you through our syllabus for just a couple minutes so that you're familiar with everything that's going to be expected. The first couple pages is what's called the master syllabus. It's just very general. Here's our course, college and career success, the course description, the learning outcomes, so the things that we're going to achieve throughout the semester, and then the very specific course objectives, what the chapters basically are going to be set upon and that you are going to be hopefully comfortable with by the end, if you're not already comfortable with. You know, things like effective listening skills, talking about test taking, note taking, communication, presentations, critical thinking. So all of those you can see there. We do have some policies listed there, and you can go and where to find more information. We also have disability services. So if you were a student in high school who had like an IEP or a 504, or you have any other kind of academic need, this office works with students to help provide those academic accommodations. So things like a quiet room for testing, extended test time, a note taker, a lot of those are in-person accommodations, but there are some online accommodations that can be provided based on the needs. We also have our computer usage information and then some student resources. I like to actually go to the homepage to show you these. So on the Stark State College homepage, underneath info for current students, we're going to scroll down and you're going to see here just a list of a ton of resources here. So let's say you needed to go and take a test because you missed a class in person. You want to get involved in our student clubs. We have a ton of student activities on campus, whether it's related to your major or it's just for fun. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get involved there. We also have TRIO. If you're a first generation college student, we have TRIO is for you. We have our help desk. We have a food pantry. I mean, just a lot. So I really encourage you to take some time to click around there, especially if this is your first semester, just to get familiarized, because most, if not all, of these are free services. They're already paid for inside your tuition package. So take advantage of the Writing Center, the digital library, of disability support, all of those. All right, let me pop back over here. So there's that information. Then underneath here is our specific to us syllabus. So it is summer 24. We are a Web 3 class, which means everything is online and we do not meet via Zoom. We do not have a day or time that we all log in at the same time. You work on this class on your own within the parameters of each week. So weeks will open on Monday mornings and close on Sunday evenings. So you will also have attendance deadlines, usually each week on Wednesday. So those are the parameters you're working within. But other than that, if you need to work, at Monday morning at 2 a.m. or Thursday night at 11 p.m., that is totally up to you. You just want to make sure that you're kind of falling within that weekly parameter, Monday morning to Sunday night, and then your discussion Blackboard/attendance checkpoints by Wednesday evenings, and I'll get more into that down here. All right, so again, my name is Dr. Remark. I do have an office on campus, although during the summer we are not required to have office hours. I will be teaching in the summer, all summer long, on campus in the mornings on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then I'm actually teaching kids college in the afternoons. So I will be on campus quite often, but I still need an appointment like as requested if you want to see me in person because of those hours. I am really easy to get a hold of online, so you can message me right here in Blackboard, and I'll show you how to do that here shortly, or through just my Stark State email. I try to respond to email as quickly as I can unless I am in class teaching, or as I mentioned, if I'm teaching kids college in the afternoons. So other than that, I try to really respond as quickly as possible. There's my phone extension if you need to leave me a message on my phone in my office. All right, so we do have a textbook in here. The good news though, it's online and it's free. And so I'll show you that here as well soon. All right, here is some assessment kind of evaluation coming up. So you will have chapters, and every chapter will have assignments that go along with it. And we're going to walk you through each of those. Everything is submitted through Blackboard or email attachment. I much prefer Blackboard just because everything's right there. But I know things happen where you're like, oh shoot, I submitted, it's not letting me resubmit, or so you can send me something through email if need be. We have discussion forums just about every week, and this is what number 3 touches on. So a discussion forum is a response to a prompt, and a prompt response, your original response needs to be about 150 words. Now, if you're like 145, I'm not going to start taking off points. And if you're over, that's totally fine as well. When I start to take off points is when it's considerably under. So when I start to see posts like 130 and under consistently, then you start to lose points. The reason there is a word kind of expectation here is because in your college writing courses, your effective speaking courses, some of your other courses that have papers too, you do have word or page minimums. And so this is kind of just getting you used to that. After you do your original response, you also need to respond to 2 classmates in each forum. Many weeks have 2 forums because this is an 8-week course. This course is normally taught in 16 weeks. It is being condensed to 8 weeks. So, right off the bat, I like to let students know like, hey, there's a lot. It's going to seem like a lot, but because there is, we cover about 2 chapters per week. So there is going to be multiple discussion forums, quizzes, and assignments every single week. I just want to be very upfront with that because we are taking 16 weeks and accelerating it into only 8. All right, so discussion prompts for weekly attendance is due on Wednesdays, and then responded to classmates is due on Sundays. And then you can see the breakdown. You have original posts were 5 points, and then you're responding 2.5 points per response. And a response is just not like I agree or I disagree or yay, good job. It's like a sentence or two, really answering a question or asking a question or comparing it to your work. You also want to make sure that if you miss the attendance post by Wednesday, still post, because you actually get 2 grades for your attendance post. You get your attendance grade. Did you post it on time? If you didn't post it on time, you get 50%. But then you also get a credit for actually posting a response in general. So let's say you miss the Wednesday due date, but you post on Thursday, you could still get 10 out of 10 for your post and your response to your classmates, but you just get like a 50% attendance. But you still want to post. Again, 2 chapters will be covered approximately each week because of 8 weeks. You'll have quizzes. Quizzes are just usually 5 questions and they're short answer. And so you need about 2 to 5 complete sentences for those quiz questions. We have a career assignment that I'll talk about later in the course. And then here's just like a breakdown of the points. So here's some general class policies and things like these I kind of already mentioned. All attendance posts are due by Wednesday, responding to 2 classmates, and additional weekly assignments are due Sundays. Extra credit, every once in a while, I might throw in like an extra credit point here and there, or if you do like an assignment very thoroughly, very detailed, I throw extra credit. If you miss an attendance deadline, unfortunately, there's really no way to make that up. It's just like if you missed a day of class. There's not a way for you to like go back in time and make up that class. Now you can make up work because you can still do the work the rest of the week. You just can't make up that Wednesday deadline for attendance. If you have missed like multiple weeks, can you make up assignments? That's case by case. So it just really depends. I do reopen earlier weeks of the semester toward the end of the summer. So let's say that you were a late enrollee or Blackboard just, you were not understanding it. I do reopen like weeks 1 and 2 toward weeks 6 and 7 at the end, just to kind of give you that chance to make up that work. Textbook is an online textbook. And then how do you submit your assignments? Again, this is everything online. So I will walk you through all of that. Here's some more information about the course, withdrawal dates. We're an 8-week course. Your last day to withdraw from the class is Monday, July 15th. So let's say your work schedule changes, something happens, you just cannot be in this or any 8-week class. You have until July 15th to get it off your schedule. All right, the rest of the semester then really goes through week by week, and you can see anything that you're turning in for points. And it has the point value next to it, is what you're doing, you know, your discussion forum, your quiz. You have these surveys, and I have it in parentheses, self-reflection. They're not worth points. It's just like a self-reflective type of check-in. How are things going in terms of the material of each chapter? And then I have just a little reminder about dates and when things are due. And I have that for every single week. And because this is an online class, I don't anticipate us getting off schedule. So this will be pretty stick to it, if you will, throughout the entire summer. Now, even though we have Juneteenth in June and July 4th in July, because it's an online class, it's not like Blackboard shuts down for the day or anything like that. So we still have the online class open, and you could be working during those days. And then just something to take note of, just so you are aware, when the class ends, it ends on a Friday. Even though all the other weeks are Monday to Sunday, I'm just letting you know right up front, week 8 ends on a Friday so that I have time to get all of your grades done over that weekend. All right, let's hop back into our Blackboard. So there's the syllabus. It'll be there all summer. Here's a quick welcome from me so you can kind of learn who I am. So just like a real quick rundown, I've been here at the college for almost 15 years now. I have 3 kids. I do teach this class online. I'm teaching a face-to-face class. As I mentioned, I'm teaching kids college this summer. If anyone is familiar with that program at the college, it's a really fun like summer day camp type thing where we do classes. So, and when I say classes, like there's a Minecraft class. I'm teaching classes on like writing books and animals and things like that. So it's kind of a neat little opportunity. And yeah, I've gone through a couple different degree programs. So I have a couple different degrees from different places. So that's just a little bit of background, just so that you know who you're kind of stuck with the next 8 weeks. Here's some general expectations. It walks through, and this is pretty standard for any kind of online class. There's a little bit of information about how to contact me, and that in general, I am online pretty frequently. They usually give instructors, 24 to 48 hours response time. I do try to get to that much quicker than that. As I mentioned, I am teaching face-to-face during the summer. And then, as I also mentioned, I have 3 children, and all 3 are very heavily involved in things. So we have travel baseball and VBS and all those things this summer. So I still try to make sure that I am quick to respond to students, especially in those first couple of weeks where I know you might be a little bit panicked on trying to figure things out. And this is just some additional resources if you needed kind of information or help to do that. All right, over here in the lessons area, this is where you're going to spend most of your time. Here is a link to our textbook. So I'm going to just show you real quickly what our textbook looks like. It is very user-friendly. I really like this book. I mean, it's free, but I also like the navigation. It's really nice. So when I open it up, I can get my table of contents, and this link will be embedded in every single week directly to the chapter we're working on, but it's always going to be right there also. So here you have your table of contents. You can skip around to the chapter you want to go to. You can also navigate by scrolling down to the bottom and going next or previous. And then you can also just search for concepts right here. Like I said, I think it's a really easy book. Now, I do want to say that I know I have students in this class from various walks of life, meaning I have some students are just out of high school. Some students have been out of high school for a couple years, and then some students have been in the workforce and they're coming back to change careers or maybe enhance or get a certificate or whatever. So not everything in this book will apply to you because some of you are just such different points. So what I want to encourage you to do throughout our semester is really focus on the parts of the text that do apply to you. So let's say in chapter 6, you have studying down, you're good in test taking, but you struggle a little bit with memory. Or maybe you have a really great note taking and journal, but you need to buff up your reading, whatever it might be. The point is, I know not all of you will need this entire book word for word, so just please focus in on the parts that could be beneficial to you. Under there is the muddy point. This form will be here all semester long, and I'm going to show you how to post in it because it's going to be the same process as you will use to post your weekly attendance post. So I'm going to click on the name. Up here, whenever I go in, typically in a weekly discussion forum, you're not going to be able to see anyone else's post yet. You can see mine because I already posted in here, and this is muddy point. It's not for points. But to create a new post, you're simply going to go to create thread. In the subject, you're going to put, whatever it is, chapter 1, and then you're going to put your prompt response and then hit submit. I'm going to cancel that. But this particular form, the muddy point, this is literally for you to post questions all summer long. So, and anyone can post here and anyone can answer. So this is not just for me. So if you have an individual question, you're going to send me a course message, which I'll show you in a few moments. But this is a question, think of it as like raising your hand in class. And everyone can hear the question and people can pipe in. So if you see someone post a question in Muddy Point and you know the answer, feel free to respond. I will check this, but if you're looking for a direct answer from me, please message me directly, especially if it's a personal question about a grade or a very, detailed question you have about an assignment. If I want to respond to someone, I just click on the name of their thread and then I just hit reply. And that's how I do that. And that's just going to come in handy for the rest of your posts. And I'll go over that in week 1 assignment folder. All right. So this is the rest of the lessons area. It's all set up the same. You're going to have a bank of videos every week. So you can see I already have the lecture video for chapter 1 embedded, and then I have to go and update these ones. But this is where your week 1 assignment videos will be. This is from last summer. I'm going to take those out and put in new ones as soon as I record them. But every week we'll have those in there. You're going to have a lecture video, which goes over the content of the chapters that are being discussed, and then you're going to have assignment videos so that you know exactly what you have to do to complete your assignments. And every week, again, is going to be set up the same way once you go in the folder. It's going to tell you, hey, this is what you're doing. Here's materials you're going to need to do that. So whether that's PowerPoints, links to the textbook chapter, links to slides, and then you're going to have the assignment folder, which is just what it sounds like. This is where the actual work is. I will go through this more in detail whenever I do the week 1 assignment videos. So make sure you come back for that. So that's your lessons area. All right, moving right down here, we have course messages. So anytime I have to send anything out as a class, I send it out as a course message and an announcement. And so let's say I send out a course message on Wednesday saying, hey, don't forget attendance post is due tonight, and you already posted your attendance. That's okay. I send that to everyone because it just goes out as a general announcement. So when I do a course message, I just create message. I click to, and you can see who's going to be enrolled in here. They have not uploaded student names in here quite yet. But if you want to message me, you just click on my name, move it over, put your subject, put your message, and hit submit. That's how I will also send messages that way. Announcements, you can see I already have week 1 announcements. Oh, sorry, I lied. I don't have them up here yet. I thought I did. But you can see my last set of announcements from last summer are still in here. You won't see these yet, but you will see week 1 announcements shortly. They're going to post right there. Anytime I have an announcement, I also load that as a course message. And those will come to you normally on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, typically is how you're going to get those announcements. All right. Course calendar, this is where you can, and I'm recording this in April, so let me get to June. You can see our calendar is already embedded in here. I just took everything from your syllabus and I plugged it in on the calendar so that you can see when things are due. So here's your Sunday due dates, right? I know it looks like a lot. Again, this is a 16-week course smushed into 8 weeks. but the calendar can kind of help keep you up to with everything. And then there's a My Grades area, which you can kind of check frequently to just stay on top of your grades. Every time I enter something, you'll be able to see that there. The rest of these are just kind of resources, student success resources, digital library, help desk, whatever it might be to use at your disposal. All right, so I hope this is helpful for you. Whenever you're ready, make sure you check into the week 1 folder, start looking at your lecture and your assignments, and then we'll get this semester going. Please reach out if you need anything, and we'll have a great summer.